Alright guys, so this section, it takes a lot of work, but we're going to go through it, no worries. We want to find the specified amount for the investment of $2,000 at 6% compounded quarterly. So that's the big word here. If you think of quarters, you think of 25 cents, right? So that means that this interest is being added to your account 4 times. Think of 4 quarters in a dollar. So if something quarterly, we actually use 0.25 in our calculations. We want to find the account balance at the end of the 3rd period. So we have our start value, which is $2,000. And we have to figure the amount for 3 periods. Okay, so we're going to need a calculator. And let's see if I can split this a little better so I'm not going back and forth like the last time. Alright, so how we do this is I'm going to take this $2,000 and I'm going to find the percentage of it. So instead of usually we would type 6%, I'm going to multiply it by the percent as a decimal. So to convert 6% to a decimal, we put the period there, so it's really 6.0%, right? And then we move it back twice and fill in any gaps with a 0. So it's really 0.06 is the same as 6%. Okay, and you can check, like if I come here, if I want 6% of 2,000, that's how we've usually been doing it, I can find that same value by taking 2,000 times 0.06. Just same way of doing, or different way of doing the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to times by 0.06, that's the percentage, and then the quarterly, which is 0.25. So that means I want to take the percentage, but only quarterly. Okay? So if I do that, I type it in, I get 2,000 times 0.06 times 0.25. That's the interest. Okay, so my interest is $30, and I'm going to add that, and I don't really need a calculator for that, to my balance. So after the first period, my new balance is $20.30. And then we're going to do it again. Like I said, these take a while. So I'm going to times that by the interest, 0.06, and then times by 0.25 because it's quarterly. Okay, so 2030 times 0.06 times 0.25, and that's my interest that I'm adding. So I'm going to take my balance, add the interest. So after the second period, our new balance is 2060.45. See how we're getting bigger, we're making money, and we're going to do it again. So times 0.06 times 0.25, and that's going to tell us what our interest is going to be. So I'm just going to use the answer key so I don't have to type that all in. 0.06 times 0.25. And that's our interest, right? So same thing. I want that interest, and I'm going to add it to our balance. Okay, so after the third period, our new balance is 2091.35675. But we're talking about money, right? That means that we only want 2 numbers after the decimal. So because that's a 6, it's going to change this 5 to 1 greater. Okay, so my answer is going to be $2,091.36. Okay, so that's a quarterly example. We're going to do an example with a semi-annual. So find the specified amount for an investment of $3,400 invested at 8% compounded semi-annually. So semi-annual means twice a year. Sometimes you hear like, it's our semi-annual sale. That means we do it twice a year. So think of twice a year. That would be at half the year and then when the year's over. So we times by 0.5 when it's semi-annual. Okay, so we're starting with 3,400. And then we're going to do the same thing. We need to find the balance at the end of the third period. But now we're timesing by 0.5 and our interest is 8%. So if I want to change 8% to a decimal number, I move the decimal back twice. So it's 0.08 and then 0.5. And we're going to do this whole thing again. So 3,400 times the interest times how many times per year? And it's every half year, means semi-annual. So the interest earned is 136, and I'm going to add that to my balance. So after my first period, I'm at 35.36. And we just keep going. We times by the interest, times by how many times per year. Not plus. And that's my interest earned. So remember, you have to take that answer and add it to your balance. So after the second period, I'm at 3677.44. And then again, we got to do it one more time. So this is one where I really like to use answer. My last value times 0.08 times 0.5. And remember, that's the interest, so you have to take that and add it to your balance. So 3824.5376. And notice how I wrote out all of it? It's just because you have to round. Okay, we only want two numbers after the decimal. So because that number's greater than 5, this changes to a 4. That's the only number that changes. So my answer would be 3,824.54.